For some reason, we'd been at Ashland, I don't remember why, but we were returning home. And just as we came onto the new highway, we had the radio on, and we heard Jim Phillips say,
"Before we continue with this report, there's something that I need to tell you, and that is that all of the children are out of the building. All of the children are out. No one is left in the building. And now I must tell you that Prichard is burning."
And we came on in, and sure enough, there was smoke all over. And Max stood and watched it go down. I didn't spend the day there, but he did.
Of course, I had a pager, and it went off, and they talked about a fire at Prichard, but the first thing you think about is, well, it's it's just a waste basket or something like that. And then they said that there's smoke coming out of the building. Well, that puts things in motion. But on the way to the school building, I had to think, hey, we've got a lot of children in that building, we've got a lot of parents. You start thinking of the responsibility of the broadcast, what are you going to do here? So when I got to the scene, the first thing I did was to go onto the campus and talk to people. Are people out of the building? Is there anyone in there? And I was assured, and I could see children down on the ball field. And they said, there's no one in the building. Everyone's out, and that was miraculous how fast they got those people out of there. So I didn't have any equipment for broadcast as far as remote broadcast is concerned. So I went to a filling station, service station across the street, diagonal across Main Street from Prichard, and just more or less commandeered their telephone, asked them if I could use that, and that's what I did for the next hour or so. I was on the air looking through the glass at Prichard, could see everything that was happening, and could see the smoke coming out, could tell people exactly what was happening. But before I did that, I assured the people that everyone in that building was out, because you can imagine the panic in their minds, knowing that their child was in that building, and that building was burning. And I spent the next hour or so broadcasting on the air, and then off, and then back. And of course, fire departments arrived. People were on the scene. Things were happening, and we just tried to describe it as best we could, and yet all of the time assuring the public that the people were out of the building. Well, my day started early in the morning because I knew that this was going to be the last time. And I don't want to be dramatic, but it is. All of this is kind of dramatic. This was the last time the sun was going to rise on Prichard High School. I mean, that was it. And by the time the sun went down that night, there would be no Prichard, so there would be no Prichard the next day. And I knew I had to have pictures of that school building that day. So about 7 or 7:30, I went down to the area and took pictures of Prichard on the last day of her existence. And that was a picture that was on the plaque that I had made that so many people wanted, and that was a surprise to me that so many did, but there were several people who wanted it, and that was the picture that was on there. It was gleaming in the sun and waiting for the people to come and tear her down, and it was heart-wrenching. In fact, I went home and told Deanna, I said, she just looks so beautiful, and I cried. Well, I was devastated. Because I'd spent many years in that building, and so much of my life was just like your life and everyone else's life that had ever gone to Prichard was involved in it in so many ways. And to stand there and see something that you were a part of and had been a part of you go up in smoke was devastating. However, I had a job to do, and I'm I'm not saying that I did a good one, but I'm quite sure that my feelings maybe made me do a better job. Who knows? But it was devastating. Forever. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. You know, to many people, the Prichard High and Elementary School building had become so much a part of their lives that it too seemed to live. Little wonder then that there was a sort of inhumaneness in the way a giant backhoe knocked and banged and uncaringly dug its way into the heart of the Grayson landmark on the afternoon of August 10th, 1988. Moving across grass that was once off limits to human feet, the machine clawed its way through walls of brick as easily as it made dust of plaster. For more than 70 years, the Prichard High building had graced the city skyline, and now its parts lie unceremoniously in a ravine on the campus of East Carter High School. The demise came on the morning of March 28, 1988, when fire abruptly canceled the last class. The grand old lady that has launched 1,000 schemes and housed 10,000 dreams is gone. But should a dozen buildings succeed her on that site, her silhouette will never fade from the minds of those who wore the black and gold and bore the name of Prichard. Yes, the song has ended, but the memory lingers on.